And a very good afternoon from the Petaluma High School baseball diamond. It is Casa Grande versus Petaluma baseball on a beautiful day as Gavin Ochoa pitches a first pitch strike in there to start this one off. This classic baseball rivalry, two of the best baseball teams in all of the North Bay. A high swinging pop-up to start up this game. Over at first, out of your picture, the catch is made by Sam Jacobs. Joe Lamp, Gaucho's star, flies out to start this game. So a good start for Gavin Ochoa, the talented pitcher for the Trojans. He's only a sophomore, but he gets the big start for Petaluma, who hasn't played in nearly 2 weeks. Same with the Gauchos, all this rain. This is also the VVAL opener for both teams as well. The 0-1 from Ochoa. Beautiful day, packed Abbey Field. That one misses high, 2-0. Trojan pitching has been excellent so far this year, but it's been their hitting that they've struggled with. They're 1-2. The Gauchos undefeated so far, 0-2 on the season. Or 2-0, I should say, on the season. Scoreboard in your top left-hand corner now. Ochoa gets a strike in there. It's 2-1. Beautiful day here live. There is a decent breeze, so that will affect things in this game. But all the rain that has plagued the North Bay, not be an issue this time. That one high and tight. 3-1 to Noah Bailey, the Gauchos' experienced senior. Two seniors to lead it off for the Gauchos, but similar to Petaluma, a very young team. No shortage of talent on either side. Has there ever been in Petaluma and Casa? It's a baseball town. Pitch is low, and Bailey will be the first base runner of the game as he walks. Cam Downing will bat third for the Gauchos. Chad Fillinger in his second year at Casa Grande, coming off an excellent season last year. They were the 1 seed in NCS, but they ended up falling in the quarterfinals to El Cerrito. Trojans had an excellent season last year as well, so they call time. 18-9 overall, 10-2 to win SCL for the first time outright since 2010 as Ochoa throws back. Bailey back in time. And Petaluma was 6th in NCS. Casa was 3rd in NCS last year, but fell to El Cerrito 3-2 in a 10-inning thriller. Last time we were out here in Abbey Field, that was a crazy game. Trojans lost a lot of seniors from last year. And the pitching we thought would be the weak spot. So far it hasn't been, as Ochoa throws in tight. He has been excellent, as it's 1-0 on Downing. Ochoa, a .75 ERA, 1-1 so far in 2 starts and 9.1 innings pitched. 10 strikeouts, 5 walks, 324 batting average against him. Isn't great, but he's been able to get out of jams. Might have to do that again here early. We getting Peter?
And I am here, Peter Canali.
Awesome.
With good enough time. Yeah.
Peter's joining us. A beautiful day for baseball, a great rivalry. Can't be more excited to bring it to you.
Sure thing, Griffin. It is a beautiful day out here on the Abbey Fields.
Ochoa throws back again. Aware of the speed of Noah Bailey, who's also an excellent basketball player. You saw Bailey a lot this year.
I did, yeah. Played for the Trojans, for the Gauchos, one of their star players, a senior.
Yeah, something that Trojan basketball fans didn't enjoy. He was hot both games. Nasty changeup by Ochoa. Gets back in the string of things here, 1-2. 6'2", 200-pound sophomore. He was called up last year from JV halfway through the season. Got to pitch in the Scott Boras tournament. Started his first varsity game in the prestigious Scott Boras tournament last year. It's a swing and a miss. And that's 2 down as Downing strikes out. Big pressure moment for Gavin Ochoa, the sophomore, but Petaluma really trusts him to do big business, Peter.
I mean, if you're a sophomore and you're starting pitching for a varsity baseball team, you have to be pretty good.
And he became a pretty big factor last year with a 1.8 ERA. He was 5-0 last year in 6 starts, 23 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts to 11 walks, and that's going to be an error. So it gets by Zarco at third. And the Gauchos, 2 on, 2 out, as Kyle Taylor hit a hard ball right to Mario Zarco. But another sophomore out in a big moment. Looked like that got to him a little bit.
It did, yeah. You could see he had it too, but he let the ball go.
He almost looked a little unfocused there, but obviously the pressure and nerves have to be a factor as well. Dangerous position now here for Ochoa early. The way the Trojan bats have been, you do not want to fall behind. That misses outside. It's Cole Shimmick digging in for the Gauchos. The pack stands this afternoon. Plenty of green and gold and purple and white on both sides. It's Wednesday afternoon affair, our first spring sports live stream of the season. Ochoa finds one on the inside corner, 1-1. Jack Gallagher calling the signals behind the plate for the Trojans, one of their most experienced players, a senior. That misses outside. 2-1. There's so much riding on this game here. Not only is it Casa Petaluma, but it's the first VVAL game of the season for both.
Right, yeah, a great way to start the VVAL play here with 2 very good teams. Casa undefeated in season so far. Petaluma is 1-2, but
Played some good teams, I think.
They have
been
for sure. They lost only 1-0 against Tamalpais, a very good team, on the 1st of March. Very close to Marin Catholic too, 3-2.
Yeah, in 8 innings, they blew the save there. They looked like they were going to beat the Wildcats in the 7th. Blown save. Swing and a miss. That will load the count. A 3-2 and a big pitch here early coming up for Gavin Ochoa, trying to get out of the jam. The first and second and 2 outs here on the top of the first. Runners going, it's low, and that will load the bases. 2 walks in an error. And Jake McCoy, the center fielder for the Gauchos, will dig in a big spot. Not how you want to start this first inning, Peter.
No, yeah, you want to be able to start the Gauchos quick, and they haven't been able to do that. Bases are loaded.
Gauchos have so many talented, dangerous players. McCoy took a big hack. Swing and a miss. Gauchos, their 2 victories, 3-1 victory over Tam, and then a 5-1 victory over Redwood. The other thing I think to look at in this game, Peter, both teams haven't played since March 1st with all the rain.
Yeah, a little rusty, but I think that makes it a little even.
Definitely, and obviously both have had to deal with it. Swing and a miss again by McCoy. Free swinging. All this rain has really affected baseball teams everywhere. Petaluma's had a ridiculous amount of rainouts. Casa's similar. It's left all the players just wanting to get out on the field and play as McCoy fouls it back. 0-2. Bases loaded here for the Gauchos. Trojan ace trying to get out of it. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Badly needed for Gavin Ochoa, and the Trojans get out of the jam. In the first, we head to the bottom of the first. No score here from Abbey Field. Want to get it on to us? Right, if you're just joining us again, I'm Griffin Epstein.
And I'm Peter Canale.
And big game, big audience, and big live stream here, Peter. Casa Petaluma. Baseball's so important in Petaluma, it doesn't get much better than this.
For sure, with that Little League team that went very far. And, you know, a lot of these people probably might have siblings or someone else they know people who played on both sides.
They grew up watching it.
They grew up watching it, right? So there's definitely a little bit of history between the two teams here.
Yeah, and these are the first teams on both sides that don't have players from that Little League World Series team. Trojans had 5 players last year from that Little League World Series team, and Casa had a few last year as well. It's kind of moving on from that.
Right, yeah, start anew, see new talent rise up here today.
For the Gauchos, they will also bring out their ace for this big pitching appearance, and it's the senior Chris Sanchez for the Gauchos. And be interesting to see if the Petaluma Bats can get going, Peter, because they're 1-2, but all the games have been close because they just haven't been able to hit so far.
Right, that is something they'll need to work on.
Let's head back on up to the field. And Trojans so far this year, they're hitting 133 from the plate with a on-base percentage of 275, which basically means if you're don't know baseball very much, they are reaching base 27.5% of the time they come to the plate, which is not very good.
No, sir.
Garrett Lewis will lead off for Petaluma. And it's what always you love about Casa Petaluma, players knowing each other. Lewis and Gaucho catcher Cole Santander exchange a little handshake and fond greeting. All these players know each other, a lot have played with each other, travel baseball, Little League. They just know each other, elementary school, middle school, all over the place. It's a small town. It makes this rivalry as intense as ever. There's been some excellent Casa Petaluma affairs so far in all sports this year, Peter.
Casa has had Petaluma beat on many of at least the boys' side of sports. A victory here would definitely help.
Yeah, definitely. You're totally right. Boys' sports, in particular, have been a struggle for Petaluma against Casa. Haven't really seen... I don't think we've seen any sport so far this year, actually, in the boys' side, where Petaluma has beaten Casa.
Yeah, you're right. The two victories that they have are
cross country, tennis so far. Well, boys soccer, they did get a draw, so
that's something.
That's something to take. Petaluma baseball trying to turn it around, and Joe Brown comes to the plate, the freshman, after Lewis flied out. Brown pops this one up. It's a long run. Right fielder coming in. He dropped it. Brown will head back to first. He reaches, and an angry throw back in from the Gaucho right fielder. So we've seen errors now on both sides. Connor Clemenock unable to handle it. Well, both the nerves and the rust apparent early on both sides.
Yeah, the second Brown brother will come up here now, followed by his sophomore brother Joe Brown, and now we have Sam Brown here. Both basketball players too.
Right? Yeah, Sam Brown decided to go out for varsity basketball this year. It was fun to watch, but in the end, skills are on the diamond. Brown got a piece of that, so his younger brother will have to head back to first. He was going, though. Joe Brown has some speed. Sam Brown now in his 3rd year as a varsity player. He's a co-captain this year, coming off hitting .403 last year, 31 hits, including 3 dingers. Hits with power and skill, but he's been in a slump to start the year. That was not a good-looking swing. He goes down low there. It's 0-2 on Sanchez. Brown a .623 slugging percentage last year. Really hit the ball all over the park. He's already a verbal commitment to Santa Clara University. One of the best talents on this Trojan team, but it's basically been part of this entire Trojan lineup that's been in a slump to start the year. It'll be interesting to see, does the rust, 2 weeks off help them get out of their slump, or does it only deepen it? As that one, Nick Brown, I think it hit him on the elbow. Sanchez just trying to smile it off. But on both sides so far, we've seen kind of some weird-looking plays, and the two aces in trouble early. It's Chris Sanchez now looking at runners on first and second, and the Trojan senior leader Jack Gallagher comes to the plate. And manager Jim Salvatella coming out, I think, just wanting to check on Brown to make sure wherever he was hit, he's okay.
Looks like the elbow.
Yeah, he's shaking that right arm out. Looks to be okay. Sanchez has some heat. Those ones hurt, Peter. I don't know if you play baseball, but
I have played. It does hurt. Actually, granted, I was, what, 10?
right, but I mean, that's 40 miles per hour. Sanchez is getting up near 70. It's gonna really sting.
For sure. If you're a senior, been playing for 3 years though on the team, sure you've had your fair share of getting hit by the ball.
Oh, definitely, and you know it's all worth it when you can come back around the next at bat and hit one over the fence, something Brown's awfully good at. Sanchez a little bit off on the controls early. Both of those first two miss outside, 2-0. Jack Gallagher has been one of the few Trojans so far this year that's actually had a bat. 375 batting average. That one is low. Nice play by Santander to scoop it. 3-0, and Santander's going to come out and talk to his senior ace. You envision their conversation being right now, Peter, with Sanchez looking a little bit off his step.
I don't know enough about baseball to tell you, but yeah, I'll leave it at that because I'm truly clueless.
Probably calming him down, right?
Right. Maybe a little offset by hitting Brown there.
Right, and the adrenaline maybe. Gallagher 3 hits so far this year in 3 games. Taking all the way there. How many viewers we got, Kaylee? 11 viewers already.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Appreciate everyone tuning in on their Wednesday afternoon, maybe at work, but didn't want to miss this big game. As Gallagher pops it up. Back into right, and Clement knocking, and then the center fielder called him off. The ball falls, and all Trojan runners will advance.
Bases are loaded here for the Trojans.
What
No,
was that?
I don't know. It's crazy though.
There are some issues right now in right center. That's the second error already by the Gauchos.
Yeah.
Well, Sanchez hasn't looked good in his control, and he's not getting help out by his fielders. This is a bad combination for the Gauchos. And they look very worse for the wear in terms of rust. Zarco now in the 4th spot with the bases loaded and 1 out. Off speed in there for a strike. Big spot for the 5'8", 165-pound sophomore third baseman. 1 hit on the year. Off speed again, past the third baseman. 1 run will score as they throw to second, not in time, and the Trojans are on the board.
Good way to start the first quarter, I'd say. I mean, first inning, I'd say.
Peter's still stuck in winter sports, but
yeah,
that was an excellent job of hitting by Zarco. He didn't get everything on it, but he hit it in the right spot. And by the time that got to Lamp, there was no chance for an out. 1-0 Petaluma. Just 1 base hit so far as Ochoa takes inside. Brown at third, Gallagher at second, and now Zarco at first. Brown was hit in the elbow. Big swing and a miss by Ochoa. Gallagher reached on an error between communication between the center and right fielder for the Gauchos, and Zarco with an infield base hit. Gauchos loaded the bases in the top half of the inning. Nice job by Ochoa to get out of it. He's trying to make the Gauchos pay for their shaky start. Now at the bat. Sanchez steps off. Gauchos not used to playing behind so far this year. 2 smooth victories over Tam and Redwood to start their year. So Ochoa is left looking. And that will load, or I'm sorry, that's 2-2. That one bounced in front of the plate, way off from Sanchez. That will load the count, 3-2. 1 out, bases loaded, 1-0 Petaluma in the bottom of the first here. Casa Petaluma, Egg Bowl baseball, the first leg. We'll play twice this year. Ochoa popped it up and out of play. Never heard that one fall, Peter.
No, I wonder where that went.
Now they actually moved the swim meet, which was scheduled to be about the same time in the pool. They moved that later tonight because they were worried about foul balls heading into the pool.
Smart.
Ochoa pops up another one. This one will drift out of play. Clement giving chase, but into the visiting bullpen. Good battle here by Ochoa just to make Sanchez work, even if you get out. You have a 7-8 pitch at bat. These days in baseball, that's a success. Popped it up again, and again out of play.
He loves doing these out of bounds.
It's an excellent job, though, of patience here by Ochoa. He's not over swinging. He's just kind of waiting for his pitch.
Right, that's what you got to keep your head in the game, stay cool, and wait for your shot.
Sophomore hitting. That bounces. That will be a bases loaded walk. And Ochoa reaches.
Now batting second baseman number 7, Sam Jacobs.
Hitting 167 this year. But he reaches on the walk. It's 2-0. Sanchez needing to just turn around from a disastrous outing. A hit batter, a walk, 2 errors, and an infield hit. 2 runs, and he's nowhere near out of the woods. Jacobs lines this one up the middle, off the glove of Lamp. Gallagher will score. Here comes Zarco to the plate. Safe at the plate. Ball gets by the catcher. Ochoa coming around. He will be tagged out at third. And coming all the way around to third is Jacobs.
What a turn of events. Second quarter with 2 outs now.
Bottom of the first.
Bottom of the first. One day I'll get the hang of this. 4-0, Petaluma's favor. And just like that, the game started.
Yeah, and a Trojan team already in this first inning has more runs than they have scored combined the entire year. This one shot towards second, diving play. Throw will not be in time. Jacobs will score, and it's 5-0. Unbelievable.
Devastating game for Casa to just have that happen. You need to stay cool in that situation, though. Keep your head with you.
Yeah, at least for them, they've nearly cleaned the bases as Mike England digs in. But 5 runs scored in this first, and only 3 hits in the inning. Trojans did an excellent job of being patient, and I think the key at bat in this inning, Peter, was that Ochoa at bat.
Yeah, for sure. He kept his cool, like I've been saying. I was really able to get that shot in when he had it.
That nicked England. So he will walk. Sanchez looks distraught. This has just been a disaster for him. Santander's going to come back out and have another conversation. And the Trojans have Going full circle in the lineup, all the way back to Lewis, who flew out. Feels like it was a very long time ago at this point. Jacobs with the key at bat, though, and scoring 2 runs on the base hit past Lamp. On the pass ball, he really scored Ochoa, too. He was tagged out at the plate. But Jacobs scored. 1-0 from Sanchez here to Lewis. And there for a strike. Has to be very challenging for the Gauchos. It'll be interesting to see if they can just turn around from this disastrous outing. It's such an important game for VVAL, but your rival too. And just for everything possible to go wrong. That's rough. 0-2 now to the sophomore Lewis. Started as a freshman last year at third base. Moved to short this year. Skips low. Santander's been doing yeoman's work behind the plate so far. Blocks that one off the chest. Thanks, Kelly. Got complimented on the good vocab. You know what a yeoman is, Peter?
I do not know what a
You
yeoman
haven't taken
is.
A-push yet, you know?
I haven't.
Learn about the Chinese dynasties and the yeomans. They worked out in the salt fields, rice fields, not salt fields, rice fields, day and night. Santander's been
Thank you.
out behind the plate for about, it probably feels like an hour. Blocking balls coming all over the place from Sanchez. One and 2 to Lewis with runners on first and second. Petaluma leads 5-0 here in the bottom of the first. For a Trojan team that has been totally unable to hit the ball all season long, it couldn't have started better. Lewis is K'd up, but that will end a fantastic first inning for Petaluma. At the end of 1, it's the Petaluma Trojans 5, the Casa Grande Gauchos nothing. We back on us? Well, Peter, that was a crazy start to this one. And for a Trojan team that has 3 games so far this year, scored 3 runs, they put 5 runs up in the first inning.
Right, gotta feel really good if you're the Trojans, especially too. It's just electric and fast. And I think that's what you want to see more. Well, of course what you want to see more. But it's just great to see that for them. Finally maybe start out a little slow, a little bit of a slump, and maybe they're finally, regaining their position. Using the young team is getting more comfortable out here, and they're starting to show what they're really capable of.
Yeah, only 6 returners on this team. They have 6 underclassmen, a lot of youth. I don't think it was shocking to see the growing pains at the start of this one, and eventually things go your way. Baseball's a fluky game. It's a long game, and I think they stayed patient, and errors here by Casa early with the nerve, some walks hit batters, and then an excellent job with small baseball. All 3 hits were really infield base hits, just placing the ball in the right spot past a very skilled Casa Grande infield.
Right, yeah.
Well, Trojans have led 34 runners on base in the first 3 games so far this year. So obviously they haven't hit well, but a lot of baseball is just kind of luck in hanging in there. And at some point things had to go the right way, and they definitely did in the top of the first. The question will be, can they keep that up, keep that momentum going with a very comfortable lead, because they have blown leads already this year.
For sure.
Back on the field. Ochoa back in for another inning of work. This will be tough for him. He was sitting on the bench for a while. This one is ripped into center, over Brown's head and off the wall. A double. Nice play. Oh, he's out.
Oh my God.
Santander thrown out at second. A rocket of an arm by Joe Brown. I was already giving up that they were going to throw him out.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
What a throw by the freshman sensation, Joe Brown. Lewis with the tag.
Sophomore. He's a sophomore.
Joe Brown is definitely a freshman, Peter.
Is he really a freshman?
Plays like a senior, though, if I've ever seen one. But he's got 4 more years of Trojan baseball. For the Gauchos, who thought finally something was going right, Brown makes a spectacular play in center field. It's one of his best attributes, they say. That one's outside. Joey Gomes has worked a lot with Joe Brown. I interviewed him in the paper a couple months ago, and he talked about how spectacular a hitter Brown is. He hit over 800 with the U14 USA baseball team in exhibition games. His fielding is his best part of his game. The throw he just made was a Division I like college throw. Ball off the wall. You always expect to make it to second. Can't blame Santander. 3-0 here, and a quick walk issued by Ochoa to Julian Centeno. Back now at the bottom order, right fielder Connor Klemenock has already had a rough afternoon. 2 errors out in right field. Inside. Got any comments in the live chat? Feel free to leave any comments in the live chat for me or Peter. Be happy to get to them. You can also check out all of our other baseball, softball videos from last year on our YouTube channel. That one's in there for a strike, 1-1. We will be continuing to live stream home games over the course of the year, and of course we'll also be making it out to the east side when these teams play again next month. Be a Friday afternoon game. Inside. 2-1. It's really not that long till these teams play again. It's actually still in March 29th, Friday afternoon these teams will play. Could very much decide the VVAL title, these 2 games. These are the 2 favorites coming in. But expect that Vintage and Justin Sienna, who's gotten off to a hot start, will have something to say about it. 3-1 to Klemenock. Low. Ochoa takes a look out into space, and he looks a little bewildered himself. And the Trojan pitching coach, Mark Nadal, will come out with a word for his sophomore ace. The control for Ochoa hasn't been the best yet, Peter.
It hasn't. No, he's thrown quite a lot of balls, too, this game.
4th walk already. Only 1 and a
No,
third
ball
so
walk.
far.
Oh, my God. Rambling to myself, I'm sorry.
Peter's got an inner monologue in
I do.
It's fascinating. What's it like, Peter, to be Peter Canale?
It's quite the experience, Griffin Epstein.
That would be crazy. I don't know if I could do it. Back to the top of the order here in Joe Lamp. It'd be pretty crazy to be him, too. He's headed to UC Davis, a D1 scholarship. One of the better baseball players come through Petaluma in the last couple of years, the senior. Spectacular shortstop, but the Trojans have made things hard on him. He's got dirty already without a lot of success. Trojans poking it by in that bottom of the first for the tune of 5 runs. Lamp flied out in the first. Ochoa trying to continue to work out of jams, something he's done all year long. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. 1-1. Julian Garahan getting loose in the Trojan pen. Coach Salvatella not liking so far what he sees from his sophomore ace. And his pitch count, no doubt, already getting up there. all the rest Petaluma's had. Nearly 2 weeks off. That's foul off.
Good thing they're not swimming today.
Yeah, there is plenty of time for, plenty of opportunity for Trojan Arms to get rest. It is not a deep bullpen by any means. Trojans have only had 4 people pitch so far this year. That miss is just outside. Trojan fans can't believe it, 2-1. Besides Ochoa and Garahan, we've only seen Mark Wolbert and Sam Brown pitch. There are some other resources in the bullpen, but it's very inexperienced pitching corps. Even Garahan was not on varsity last year. Ochoa really the only pitching returner with experience, but that time he strikes Al Lamp, who heads back to the bullpen murmuring at himself about the ump's calls.
Number 3, Noah Bailey.
2 down, and the frustration already imminent for Casa. Bailey digs back in. He walked in the first. 2 on, 2 out. Nasty off speed from Ochoa. Oh, there's some natural talent in this sophomore's arm, Peter.
Yeah, you can tell. He's a great pitcher.
Fastball in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 to the senior Bailey. Way high. Bailey ducks away. 6'2", 200-pound sophomore pitcher. Ochoa can also play in the outfield. Got the victory in Petaluma's lone victory so far of the season. 1-0 victory over Tam. There were actually no hit in that game, but one. Ground ball to Lewis to first. Nice stretch by the athletic Brown to keep his foot on the bag. And the inning over. On to the bottom of the second, it's Casa Grande 0, Petaluma 5. Ochoa continues to kind of struggle with his rhythm and control, but as long as you can get out of these innings and keep the Gauchos at bay, that's all you need.
For sure, yeah. Just keep pulling them out, right? Like you said, it's a game of endurance and luck, really.
Yeah.
Making sure you can keep them from really getting on base and getting their hits in.
Yeah, and you don't want to count outs. You just want to go up every at bat like it's that next batter. There's a lot of talented batters on this Casa team. They know the Trojan pitchers well, and that's going to make it hard for them to get, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot more innings to go through. And that deficit can easily be chipped away. But they take it one batter at a time. Ochoa has the talent to continue to subdue these Casa Grande batters.
For sure.
The Trojans will go back to bat with Joe Brown. Sanchez back to the mound. And it'll be interesting to see for Casa Grande if they found their head, because it has really been a disaster for them in that first inning with Fielding 5 runs in, even though they only gave up 3 hits.
Yeah, the center right field is really, they've been struggling.
No. Fielding was a disaster, especially with Cole Klemenoff in right, and he had some trouble communicating with Jake McCoy as well in center. 2 errors there. 1 hit batter. There goes Peter's spreadsheet. Back onto the field, please. A walk and 3 infield base hits again in that first. Couldn't get a more crazy inning, and the Trojans scored 3 of their runs. Or 2 of the runs, I should say, on 1 little dinky base hit in between short and third. First pitch is high. Brown probably made the most spectacular play of the afternoon so far, as that's in there for a strike, and a throw all the way from the warning track to Garrett Lewis at second to throw out Cole Santander, who was headed for 2 off a ball off the wall. A rocket of an arm. Misses outside. 2-1. Brown without a hit so far this year. And a big swing into right. Got under it. Diving play by Klemenok. He dropped the ball. He is out, though. Man, Klemenok's got the butterfingers going. The ump ruled there that he pulled the ball out of his glove. It certainly wasn't a natural-looking transition, but they gave him the out. And just has to be relief for him. He made the catch. It's been an adventure for him. But either way, Brown is out, and it will go to the elder Brown, Sam, who was hit in the first and came around to score later. 6'2", 210 pounds, a mountain of power. His baseball smarts are excellent as well, 0-1. I think the difference, though, that makes Brown an exceptional player, though, is his energy, Peter. I think we saw in the basketball court as well, because I don't think he was the most skilled basketball player, but he kind of just flew all over the court. We don't have Peter's mic? Is your mic off? Ah, it's unplugged. That would be the issue. Brown pops it up. This one will head out of play behind the Trojan dugout.
Be back now? All
What are you
right.
saying about Sam Brown?
I said, yeah, you need all sorts of different players on a team to make it versatile, and he definitely fills that role of being that energetic, team leader.
Always need a heartbeat pulse of a team, especially when you're down a little bit negative, which this team could have been after two close losses, two one-run losses to start the season. That one misses outside, 2-2. One out, nobody on for Sanchez. Casa's allowed more runs combined than they have in their first two games of the year as Brown fouls it off. And the Trojans have scored more runs than they scored combined in their first three games of the season.
It's kind of ironic.
It is. The baseball gods have an interesting logic to their plans. Brown got jammed, and then he tripped, I think, either over his bat or the plates. Either way, a routine pitch and catch from Centeno to first. Kyle Taylor, 2 down. Gallagher back up. He also reached in that first inning. Reached on one of the Trojans' 3 hits. He's been hot, too. Very streaky hitters. That one's in there for a strike. Batted .407 last year with 22 hits, 15 runs, and 13 RBIs. He's tied for the lead in hits last year. But he really had an up-and-down season. Started really hot. Got cold, heated up again, and then by the playoffs, he got cold again. Peaks and valleys for Gallagher. Two and two as that found the upper corner. Sanchez a chance for a 1-2-3 inning, which would be badly needed after his nightmare of a first. Into right, Klemenok makes the catch. 1-2-3 for Sanchez. That was a whole lot better than the first inning. Badly needed for the Gaucho ace. And at the end of 2, it's Petaluma 5, Casa Grande 0. Well, Peter, looked like Sanchez has calmed down in this Gaucho team. I think, as you expect, calmed down. I think the rust was really a big factor for Casa, and I know they've had some issues with their baseball field and it getting wet, so they've been practicing more on their blacktop, and potentially that had much of a factor because it looked like the rust affected them a lot more than it affected Petaluma.
Right, yeah, and especially you can't let the adrenaline of what just happened if your Casa get to you, and I think they sort of realized that and were able to calm down and run a much smoother bottom of the second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter's getting the innings from the quarters down, the basketball to the baseball switch.
I am. I'm trying to learn the basketball lingo.
But we have seen a lot of actually blowouts and a lot of egg bowls. Last year, these teams played twice. Once at the Boris tournament, all the way in Sacramento, which Petaluma won, and then they played again at their normal non-league game in late April, and Casa Grande won. It was ugly, too. They won by 10 runs.
Ooh.
And it was one of those games where Petaluma, everything went wrong. They got down early, and it was just a mess of a game. And it was kind of similar, I think, to what we saw, at least in this first inning. But it would be impressive if Casa can focus in and just turn it around, because Petaluma was not able to do that last year with a much more experienced team. They fell behind, and it really fell apart for them.
For sure, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the year pans out.
Leading off the top of the third inning for the Gauchos, Cam Downing. He struck out in the first.
Maybe. Let me see.
Trying to chip into this Trojan lead. 5 runs, but you gotta take it one pitch at a time. Can't hit a 5-run home run. Swing and a miss by Downing, 0-2. Ochoa in his 3rd start of the year already. Only allowed 1 run so far. He's dealt with a lot of traffic on the bases with walks. Been able to get out of everything. 1-2. One of 6 underclassmen on this Petaluma team. 5 seniors. 6 players return out of 16. Fouled off by Downing. Stay alive. Trojans had 11 seniors last year. 9 of their players returned from last year. We mentioned all the Little League World Series All-Stars on the team last year in the Open. They had 6 last year.
Yeah, well.
So this year than last year, where all the players kind of knew what they were doing, and Petaluma really cruised through SCL pretty unchallenged. We're going to have stiffer challenges day in and day out this year.
That looked like it hurt. You hear the thud of the ball.
Yeah, Downing got hit on the shoulder, but he was fired up. He sprinted to first base. And it has to be frustrating for Ochoa. Got ahead in the count finally, but wasn't able to do anything with it. So no outs, 1 on. Kyle Taylor will dig in, the first baseman. Fastball in there for a strike on the outside corner. Trojan infield, Brown at first. Sam Brown, that is. Fellow Sam next to him at second, and Sam Jacobs. Garrett Lewis at shortstop. Those 3 all returned from last year. Mario Zarco, new at the hot corner this year. He was on JV last year. They throw back to first. Gallagher, returning catcher, started there last year. The outfield for Petaluma. Much less experienced. Sam Brown, the new center fielder, but he already with a spectacular throw out at second. Big swing and a miss.
That'd be Joe Brown as the new
Taylor.
center fielder.
Thank you. All the
Sam
Browns get a little mixed up. 2 major factors of the success of Petaluma baseball, and will continue to be. England in left for Petaluma. As Taylor is dismissed. 1 down.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 18, Cole Shimmick.
Cole Shimmick, designated hitter, will dig in with 1 out. Wolbert is in right for Petaluma, but he is not hitting. The Trojans are using their DH, but Ochoa is hitting. He's a good pitcher and hitter. Low, going. He's out. Gallagher throws out. A Gaucho runner, Cam Downing, thrown out going first to second. And just like that, 2 down. Exceptional play by the senior catcher, Peter.
Yeah, great job by him.
Gallagher 13 for 29. Caught people stealing, and so far this year he's already thrown out 1. Make it number 2 there. Wasn't a great jump by Downing. Gallagher just got him. Nice job again by Lewis, tagging out the runner. Second time he's done that. And after the early error by Zarco, the fielding's been excellent for Petaluma. 4-pitch walk by Ochoa, and that will put Shimmick on. Jake McCoy, the center fielder, back up. A sunny day, temperatures at about 65. 15-mile-per-hour gust blowing third to first. It's McCoy out in front. But not a cloud in the sky.
No, sir.
In a packed crowd, the stands are filled. Supporters lining the fencing. Good 150 fans, I would say. McCoy, way out in front of that one. Needs to take a deep breath and calm down. A little bit too much energy and adrenaline. And he can't score 5 runs on one swing. Catchers need to focus on chipping away and shortening up their swing, something Petaluma did in the first. Helped score 5 runs. Trojan principal Mr. Sturrett has even made his way to the roof to take photos. He's on top of the E-wing. God, he can do it all. He can even climb buildings. Pretty impressive. McCoy holds back on that time, 1 and 2. Some supporters also have made their way on top of the PE locker rooms to watch as well. One and 2. Pitch is high. 2 and 2, and McCoy starting to find his patience. The Napa High swim team has just shown up. Petaluma and Napa will do battle in swimming in a couple hours. Under the lights in the PHS new pool, McCoy is set down. 2 strikeouts for Ochoa, and Gallagher threw out a runner at second, and through 3, Ochoa has not allowed a run. As we head to the bottom of the third, it's the Petaluma Trojans 5, the Casa Grande Gauchos 0. Oh, Ochoa continues to work out of trouble. How about this Trojan fielding, though, Peter? They have really looked on top of it so far.
They have, yeah. The Browns have done an exceptional job. The catcher, I don't remember his name. Gallagher, thank you, has done an excellent job too, especially with that strikeout there in the bottom of the third.
Yeah,
top of the third.
Gallagher is just such an exceptional leader. I think he's so vital for this team. The catcher is kind of like the point guard, I think, of the baseball team. The quarterback leads the signals, directs all the fielding, and I remember talking to manager Salvatella last year, and he said the number one and most important thing on our team and the reason we have so much success is Jack Gallagher behind the plate and having an experienced catcher, because you're really the floor general right there.
Yeah, and for sure, and if you're the catcher, that is your job, so he does an exceptionally good job at it. Yeah,
Gallagher's both an exceptional player, great fielder, but I think he's also just such a great leader. He's a nice guy, both on the baseball field and off, and I think someone this entire, especially very young team can look up to as a role model and someone to follow. Very important when nearly half your team can't even get their driver's license yet.
Yeah.
Bottom of the third. Zarco, one of those players that can't get his driver's license yet, will dig in. In the 4th spot for Petaluma. Zarco got his first varsity hit of his career in the first. A ball past Lamp. at short. Sanchez finds the outside corner. Tale of 2 innings so far for Sanchez. Threw about 50 pitches in the first, allowed 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors. Zarco trips coming out of the box. 1 down. 1, 2, 3 in the second, and so far 1 down.
2 trips on Petaluma's side.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't rake the dirt well or what's going on, the rain from all the last couple weeks, but
Now batting pitcher number 24, Gavin
saw Sam Brown trip. This time Zarco actually fell to the ground. Know that feeling well, Peter. I fell right back on my back yesterday in a tennis match. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's no good.
Sometimes the footing just gets you. The dirt monster. Ochoa takes a strike 0-1, and Sanchez has suddenly really found his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, definitely a little bit of rustiness for not playing for 2 weeks. It gets to your head.
Sanchez has pitched twice, pitched once, started once this year, but hadn't pitched all the way since March 1st in Gaucho's last game, a 5-1 victory over Redwood. Slow, 2-1. And there for a strike, and here Gallagher all the way from the dugout, shouting out to Ochoa, encouraging him on. That's the leader we talked about, the senior captain. Off speed, Ochoa fouls it back. Full count to the sophomore pitcher. Sanchez, whose body language was not good in that first inning, was trying to smile things off, shrugging, looking mopey. Santander had to come out. He's been cool, calm, and Mr. Poker Face so far in the second and third inning. That will load the count. It's now 3-2. Low, Ochoa walks. First base runner for Petaluma since the first inning. 1 out, 1 on. And that will bring up Jacobs, who's
now batting number 7,
base hit
Sam
up the middle, brought in 2 runs. Jacobs' first RBIs of the year, coming off a very good season last year where he started primarily at shortstop. He shifted over to second base with Porter Slate gone to UC Davis.
Pitch running at first, number 21, Zach Clark.
Trojans will get a pinch runner in. Zach Clark, the senior, into pinch run. Not the first time he's done that this year for Petaluma, the 6'1", 170-pound senior. Potentially to get an extra run. So they throw back to Clark. Jacobs batted .303 last year, 10 hits, 11 runs. He only struck out twice all of last year, an excellent contact hitter. Led up to a .378 on base percentage. It's in there for a strike, 0-1. One of only 5 seniors on Petaluma, and really Jacobs and Gallagher are the only 2 seniors that got significant playing time last year. Jacobs awfully short, but you can still definitely hit when you're short, and I think you can make up for it with scrappy hitting and a low center of gravity, Peter.
Right, yeah.
Jacobs' favorite player, not a surprise, Jose Altuve, probably the best short baseball player around. He's a big Houston Astros fan. I told this story last year on one of the broadcasts, predicted the Astros' rise to World Series champions prominence. They were cellar dwellers for so long. This is 3-1 for the Altuve lover. Altuve, of course, also a middle infielder. Jacob slugs this one into right center. Center fielder under it. 2 down. McCoy makes the play, and for that right center, the Gauchos just have to be happy they're getting outs. Mark Wolbert has been playing right. Will get his first at bat after he was DH for in the first. Pops this one up into left. Diving is the center fielder, but he didn't need to because the catch is made at left. And the communication was a little interesting there, but in the end it's an out. And the Gauchos get out with it with one walk, and the Trojans leave one on. We've reached the end of 3 here from Abbey Field. It's Petaluma 5, Casa Grande 0, and after the excitement of that first inning, things have definitely calmed down, and we've seen solid baseball.
I think we have, yeah. Definitely the excitement was there in the second, but Casa has gained much better control. Starting to get back in it. Same with Petaluma, really. I think they've been a lot more consistent. Ochoa definitely has been a little bit up and down throughout the game, striking out many people, but also walking, I think, just as many. So it'll be interesting to see how, when they decide to pull him out or how he does for when he's in.
Yeah, definitely something for Ochoa to work on over the course of the year, but you have to be really happy if you're Coach Salvatella that he just continues to know how to get out of jams, and it has to help as well that they have the run insurance they got in the first inning with those additional runs. The pressure is really not on Ochoa because one run in the end doesn't hurt him that much.
No, sir.
Santander back out for his second plate appearance. He lined one off the center field wall. Joe Brown threw him out at second. Spectacular throw. It was good 100 yards. I don't think Santander even knew how Brown threw it. I was certain that there was no chance.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Brown really has a way of defying physics. We needed that throw on sports science, even to figure out how Brown did it. 1-1. You ever seen sports science, Peter?
I was about to ask. No, I have not. What is sports science, Griffin?
Sports science is fantastic. It's I don't see it as much, but it's on ESPN, and they have John Brinkley is this science, physics, mathematician, and sports lover, and he breaks down a big play, such as Andrew Benintendi's Game 4 ALCS game-saving catch against the Astros last year. He'd break down a play like that and break down the spin rate on the ball, the percentage that Benintendi was going to make the catch, how fast he went. As this one is slugged into left, England going back at the wall and watching it goodbye. Do a sports science one on that one, as that one was well over 312 and out of here.
2 big hits for the Gauchos player.
Santander nailed one off the wall, but this time he hit it over the fence. And you can't get thrown out if you do that. That's a straight shot down the line and a hanging curve by Ochoa Costa. And you hope everyone in the Casa Petaluma track meet's okay. They didn't cancel the track meet because of the baseball game, but that's pretty dangerous too, Peter.
Yeah, I think this being in general doing anything in the proximity of a baseball game could be dangerous.
Yeah, but go ahead.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but we said you don't want to park your car near the baseball field. I've seen some broken windshield as results of foul balls. That was in there for a strike. 1-1. Julian Centeno 0 for 1 on the afternoon. The Gauchos getting their first run. We'll see what the momentum does. Julian Garahan was working all the way back in the second. He's back up again. Ochoa's pitch count certainly getting up there. 2-1. Only a second run he's given up all year. Finish on sports science, Peter. It's really just it's fun to bring in kind of the intellectual side of sports and really break down how some of the most athletic and amazing plays really happen. And it enhances those plays so much. It's a lot of fun.
Adds a spectacularness, if you will, of the play.
Those individual plays can be what makes sports so great, especially baseball with its individual plays. Seen a big home run. We've seen a big throw out. We've seen some little baseball play too. Ochoa with the walk. Here comes Jim Salvatello, the Trojan manager. Will that be it for Ochoa? Garahan has walked back into the dugout. It appears Salvatello will have a conversation with Ochoa. Either way, it's clear he doesn't want to go out, but in the end he will. He was holding the ball away from his manager because you don't want to come out of a rivalry game, but the day is done for Gavin Ochoa. 3+ innings, 1 run given up, and the control wasn't the best, but in the end, Ochoa did his job, and he set it up for the bullpen and to try to get a win.
Right, yeah.
Number 12, Julian Garahan.
So Garahan will come in for Petaluma. Now this very young Trojan bullpen is going to be tested. The Trojans have blown a lead this year. Garahan blew the save against Marin Catholic. So it'll be interesting to see in a big pressure spot here with dangerous Gaucho batters if Petaluma can hold their poise for players that haven't experienced this moment.
Right, yeah, the 6'5" sophomore. He's on the varsity basketball team, too. His height definitely helps him.
Yeah, he's one that's going to use a lot of speed on the ball and use that high leverage that you get to really throw down to the batter, and it will be if the Gauchos can turn on his speed and turn that into base hits, which can be challenging, I think, especially with the roughs, because you haven't seen that speed most of the year.
Now batting number 9, Connor Lemnock.
Connor Clemenok will dig in. 1 on, nobody out. Garahan was on the JV team last year. Very talented player. Essentially the Trojans' go-to reliever. A 1.75 ERA in 2 appearances. He got the save in the Trojans' lone victory against Tamil Pius. Bunt right back to Garahan. Goes to second. Threw it over the head of Lewis.
Speaking of Garahan, throws it high there to second baseman.
Yeah, I might have
Garrett
forgotten
Lewis.
that not everyone on the field is 6'2".
Yeah, 6'5".
6'5", my goodness. And
Tall
he knew,
sophomore.
yeah, he knew it as soon as he threw it, put his hands on his head, and he had the out at second, too. It was a poor bunch, really laid down by Clemenok. But now with 2 out and nobody on, an excellent opportunity for the Gauchos. Exactly who you want up to if you're Casa Grande. The talented shortstop, the captain, a 4-year varsity player, and a UC Davis player next year, Joe Lamp. He's 0 for 2 today, though, with a flyout and a strikeout. Garahan will look back at second. And the pitch. Lamp fouls it back. Look out in the pool. One and one. Opposing batters hitting .207 against Garahan so far. He's been pretty good in his control, though. Just 2 walks in the 8 innings he's pitched. 4 strikeouts. Pitch is high. 2 and 1. Popped up. This will be out of play. Gallagher running over. Zarco calls him off, and Gallagher makes the catch. Once again, Jack Gallagher, this senior, he knows what he's doing behind the plate.
He sure does.
A big first out, and the frustration evident on Lamp's face. He's 0 for 3. It's been a rough day and a big moment for the senior star. Bailey will step in. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Garahan, a varsity basketball player as well. Not fond memories of Bailey, who went for 25 here at the Petaluma High School gym in the Gauchos varsity boys basketball victory over Petaluma. 1-0. It's Centeno at second. He walked in the last batter that Ochoa faced, so Ochoa is still responsible for him. Clemenock at first. This is Garahan's air. High pop up down the line. Wolbert running over, but it's going to be out of play. Into the trees and shade over there. Challenging play for any fielder out there, which is somewhat, I think, the issues we've seen with Clemenock in right field. He had 2 errors in the first. One and one. Low, it gets past Gallagher, and both runners will advance. They will both hold second and third. I don't know, pass ball or wild pitch there, Peter. That's a hard one for the scorer.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Low ball in the dirt, but something I think you want Gallagher to be able to field. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Bailey and a chance to really cut into the sizable lead for Petaluma. Foul straight back. 2-2. One of the biggest at bats so far this game here. The pressure's on Bailey and Garahan.
For sure, yeah. 2 star senior players.
Garahan the set. 2 shakeoffs. A third of Gallagher. Now he's got it. The set. The pitch. Ground ball right to Zarco. He bobbled it and lost it. 1 run will score. The throw to third. Clemenock safe there. And another error by Zarco. This time it will cost Petaluma a run.
It's not what you want to see if you're Petaluma. You don't want to let Cosville start chipping away at you like that.
Zarco was very much had a fielding problem this year. He had 2 errors coming into today. He now has 2 today. And only an .800 fielding percentage might be in his head right now. He was kind of also, I think, deciding what to do there. But in the end there, probably the best decision was just to throw to first and get the out. Instead, you get nothing. Runners on the corners. First pitch swinging into center. Brown can't make the catch. 1 run will score. And it is 5-3.
It's Petaluma's second inning all over again, Griffin.
My goodness. Sam Brown, the shortstop, calling everyone around as things falling apart here for the Trojans. That just looked lazy by Joe Brown out in center field. And I think he's such a talented fielder that he maybe forget about the fundamentals.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he just kind of reached down to try to make the basket catch, and he just kind of misjudged it, took his eye off the ball. That's a freshman mistake there. He plays like a senior most of the time. It cost Petaluma another run. And they should probably be out of this inning at this point. Maybe just 1 run averted. But instead we're seeing very reminiscent of the Gauchos fielding in the top of the first. Not been bad pitching by Garahan by any stretch of the imagination, but the fielders haven't helped him out. And the Trojan fielding has been an issue this year. It was so good, though, until this inning so far this afternoon. 7 errors coming into today. And I would rule that Brown play an error, so mark that as 10. Kyle Taylor digging in for Casa. Off speed, fouled off. 1-1. A 5-run deficit at the start of this inning has quickly been trimmed to just 2 And it's still very much a threat for the Gauchos with just 1 down and 2 on. High. Gallagher telling Garahan, calm down, take a chill pill. A little bit too much adrenaline from the lanky sophomore. Popped up. Brown coming over to make the catch, 2 down. That was better fielding, and you could see the communication that time.
Right, yeah. I think he's skilled enough to not let the same thing happen twice, to realize what he did wrong, and then correct that mistake.
Number 18,
Calling off the senior England and left. They say the center fielder always has the authority to do what he wants and calling off his other fielders. And nice job there following the rules on both sides from Petaluma. Badly needed out for probably Garahan's mental psyche and this whole team. 1 out, or 1 strike. Cole Shemick. How many viewers we got now? 10 viewers. I want to appreciate. How many? 13. Lucky numbers. 0-2 now to Shemick. Hope you're enjoying this baseball egg bowl, the first leg. These teams will play in a couple weeks over at Casa Grande. And this big rivalry affair. Both schools pride themselves on baseball. So many talented players that will be playing at D1 schools in the years to come. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3. He struck him out, and Garahan gets out of it with any more issues. So we've reached the end of, well, we're headed to the bottom of the 4th, I should say, and the score, Petaluma 5, Casa Grande 3.
Yeah, it's been an exciting game. Petaluma did lose their cool off a little bit after losing their starting pitcher, but it looks like Julian Garahan was able to sort of recollect himself and pull it out there to end the 4th quarter there.
4th quarter, oh, he's done it again.
Yes.
I think we did see from Garahan that power at the end, and he actually had good pitching, I thought, when he came in, but it was, as you said, just shaky fielding by the Trojans. I think an excellent job by another leader on this Petaluma team, Sam Brown. Came over after that error by his younger brother that made it 5-3, gathered the team around, talked to them at a brief meeting, and just got everyone to calm down, and they did. Garahan settled down, and they got out of the inning. If this team stays calm, they should be able to close out this game, but they need to play their best baseball. They cannot afford more errors in this game because this Gaucho team has energy. This game means so much for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Mike England will dig back in.
Trojans, left fielder, number 3, Mike
Left
England.
fielder, senior. And Sanchez, who's pitched about 50 pitches in that first inning, and since then has probably pitched less than 50 in the next 2 combined. Only 1 base runner in the last 2 innings for Sanchez. The Casa Grande ace has really started to show why he is the ace. As he faces England. So for 1. Catches the outside corner. England gives it a nod. Now he's seen it. Misses. 2-1. It's not the only Petaluma Casa battle happening right here at the Petaluma High campus, Peter.
That's right. We have the track and field meet right across from us. We've been hearing the gunshots.
Yeah. I know, it sounds like a movie scene or something over there, but it's just a track meet.
Yep.
But there's definitely plenty of action going on, and it's a dual meet. It's just Casa Petaluma in track as England is K'd up. And a nice at-bat there by Sanchez. So they throw it around the horn, 1 down.
Number 14, Garrett Lewis.
Lewis up with 1 out and nobody on. Back to the top order for Petaluma. Lewis 0 for 2. Casa and Petaluma, that track don't normally, I mean, they haven't played in the same league for 8 years, but this is the first time VVAL is doing dual meets, and so I think this is the first time ever Petaluma and Casa in track in a dual meet, and it's just one-on-one. It's really a lot of fun that they're doing it this year. It makes for some excellent competition because there are some excellent athletes on both sides. This is outside, 1-1. We'll have full results of the meet tomorrow morning on our Trojan Live Daily Morning announcements, so whether you're a Casa or a Petaluma fan, those track results, we'll have them tomorrow morning for you. It's also the first VVAL meet for both as well. Trojan girls have won back-to-back SCL pennants, and feel like they could be competing for a VVAL pennant, but the Gauchos will definitely have other things to say. That one is fouled off towards the Trojan dugout. Gaucho cross-country team, both boys and girls, won league pennants. The only 2 league pennants Casa Grande has won in any sport so far this year. Off speed, right to second, bobbled, not in time. Another error, as there's been a plethora of them this afternoon. And Lewis will meet for the first time. Julian Centeno. All it took was a bobble from him at second, and the speedy Lewis makes it to first. He just can't break the arrow bug this afternoon.
No.
Or the Russ, the Ners, these are really 2 young teams. Both graduated a lot of seniors. It has been a challenge. Lewis dived back and yelled. He yelled. Heard that right? Oh my goodness, my shoulder, not again.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. We're up to 15 viewers now, but you are seeing an unpleasant scene over at first base where Garrett Lewis might have dislocated his shoulder, something he has had some issues with, the sophomore. And just a simple dive back to the bag, but it popped it out. And he's holding his hands together as if he's praying. It might be both a symbolic metaphor, but he also is trying to pop his shoulder back in. Either way, it does not look good, not moving his arms. And we've already got a phone call happening. So that might be the end of the afternoon for Garrett Lewis. Slowly walking back, and the Trojans will need a pinch runner for their leadoff batter. So a simple dive back to the bag, and dislocates the shoulder of Garrett Lewis. And you just have to hope that he will be okay for the long run for Petaluma. With all the rainouts they've had, they're going to need one of their best hitters and fielders back in the lineup. Lewis heads back into the dugout. If we get any further word on him, we'll pass it on to you. Trojans will bring out a pinch hitter here. Dan O'Hagan, big junior infielder and relief pitcher, will pinch hit at first base and likely take the spot of Lewis at short. Back to action, and Joe Brown takes the first pitch strike. Umpire doing some bucket directing in the Petaluma dugout. Brown takes inside. Has such a glassy stare, Brown. He's so focused.
I mean, you gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Get all your senses, gather all your senses, right? Be ready.
It is. The ball comes in so fast, especially when you're placing a skilled pitcher like Sanchez. Brown has mentioned it briefly. Played for Team USA, was on the U15 Team USA gold medal champions over the summer. They won the World Championship in Panama. And he faced pitchers that were throwing 80 miles per hour and higher, which is Major League Baseball level of heat. Brown pops this one up into right. Catch is made to the great relief of Casa supporters. The adventure it has been out there for Shemek. Or Klemenok, I should say. One down and one Brown to the other. Sam Brown. And I do say Joe Brown's even more talented than Sam Brown, both redheads. I think with different traits to their game. Sam's a little bit more of a power hitter. And he's more of a vocal leader. I think Joe's a little bit quieter. Fielding is exceptional and more of a contact hitter. Oh, we saw Joe Brown around the baseball diamond when Sam's been playing the last 2-3 years, baseball junkie. Just waiting for his opportunity to put on the purple pinstripes. Freshman year getting the opportunity, now he's got 4 years. If you're a Trojan fan, you get a lot more Brown action. Pleasure to watch. 2-0 from Sanchez. 2 out. Big swing and a miss by the junior. 2-1. Ground ball right to Lamp. Bobbled it. Throws to second. Got the out. Well, the fielding has been an adventure all afternoon for Casa, but Lamp stays cool and confident there. And we've reached the end of 4, Peter. 5-3 the score. The later this game gets, the nerves increases. We got a close ball game.
Right, yeah, you cannot let Casa get back if you're Petaluma. I mean, to make sure you can capitalize on this lead and even get more of a lead if possible.
An excellent job by Casa. They've really settled down after giving up 5 runs in the first inning. This is still a Trojan team that bats have really struggled all year long, and we've seen why the Trojan bats have struggled since that first inning. They have looked off, and a huge credit to Chris Sanchez. He's really kept them off balance since that first inning.
Right.
Petaluma, on the other hand, 3 runs given up in that last inning. They're trusting Garahan now, potentially for the next 3 innings. Garahan has been the closer, but he can also go long as well, and plenty of experience this year. If the Trojan fielding is good, Garahan is one of the best out there on the mound, especially with his exceptional height. Top of the 5th, it's 7 innings of high school baseball here between Petaluma and Casa Grande. It's the league opener here between Petaluma and Casa. We got league games across the Napa and Sonoma County and the Vine Valley today and tomorrow, next week, I should say. League play will resume even over spring break and continue all the way through May. It's a long, long season. As players first had games all the way back in February, and it'll finish up in early May. The Trojans' senior night will be May 3rd, and the final VVAL game not all the way until May 8th, with the league schedule pushed back a little bit. Season that started all the way back on February 20th. If you go deep into NCS, it's a 3-month season. Very long. The Trojans certainly have dreams of going deep into NCS. Haven't made the NCS semifinal since 2012. But certainly have the talent to. It's fouled off. Jake McCoy, the center fielder, 0 for 2 today. And he's behind 0-2. We have a comment, I've been told by our director, Miss Smith. We've got the Trojan encouragement. Let's go Trojans. Who's it from? Ah. Ah, it's from Anonymous. Big swing and a miss by McCoy. His swings have been wild and all over the place all afternoon. One down, and Garahan's got back-to-back strikeouts bridging from the fourth inning. Santander will step in. This is one Garahan needs to focus on, Peter.
Yeah, and he's been big tonight, hitting it out of the park and the only out of the park hit, and to the very back off the wall in center field. If it wasn't for the clutch throw by Brown, he would have got 2 bases with that hit.
Yeah, Santander's a name if you follow Petaluma baseball, you've heard a lot about, all the way since Little League. Talented athlete, a lot of power, and now in his senior year, making things happen for the Gauchos. Hit one a good 320 over the left field wall last inning to start what would become a 3-run inning. Garahan pitch misses. 1-1 turns into evening here. The sun setting over Abbey Field on a lovely spring day. All the rain, it's been really rough for these baseball teams, but it finally looks like clear sailing.
Right?
It's been kind of remarkable the amount of rainouts. That is a nasty pitch by Garahan on the bottom corner. Snaps the ball back, ready for the next pitch, 1-2. Petaluma has had 6 rainouts so far this season. 6.
Yeah, certainly set you back a little.
They've only, of course, played 3 games. That misses low. 6 rainouts. 2 of those were in the same game. The game against Tamalpais had 2 different reschedulings from its 3 different dates. That was the only one that's played. One game was just canceled outright. They still have 3 games to make up that were rained out. Starting with their next game, it will be Saturday matinee against Vacaville, and then Petaluma will be resume league play over spring break at Napa on the 20th, next Wednesday. It's another foul by Santander. And the Trojans will have another makeup game just the day after that Napa game, a Thursday afternoon in Larkspur to face Redwood. Also make up the missed game against Maria Carrillo in late April. Trojans got their last game canceled Saturday against Bella Vista in Fair Oaks. That's the 2nd straight year they've scheduled to play that game in Sacramento, and it's been rained out. Couple atmospheric rivers, deluge after deluge. A very rainy season, the most rainy year about a decade here in Northern California has made it very hard on baseball. That just nips Santander on the payoff pitch, and he's on. In the end, I think if you're Garahan, you don't want to make him pay. You'd rather walk him than give him a nice hanging curve to wallop back onto the track again.
Right, yeah. I don't think it's good he should ever try to hit someone with the ball, though, so.
True. 1 out, 1 on, and Centeno, who reached on Zarco's air, got an RBI. Back up. Second baseman. Garahan will have to work out of the stretch again. That is fouled up straight over our heads. And
Ooh,
that did not sound good. That was the back bumper of a Toyota Camry. Toyota?
It's Toyota.
And I say Chipotle, and people make fun of me for it. Yeah.
That's not correct.
Well, that's correct if I want it to be correct.
All
Some
right,
people
Griffin.
say Nevada, some people say
Nevada. Right.
I don't know. I mean, the people in Nevada say Nevada, so I feel like you should say Nevada.
No, I say Nevada.
But I haven't talked to the Chipotle owner about which way he says Chipotle. Or they say Chipotle.
I'd bet money that it's Chipotle, not Chipotle.
You're going out on a big limb, Peter.
Sure.
And I haven't talked to Toyota is Japanese, so I don't know.
All right.
I feel like that's all into interpretation, right? It's all about the American accent. Your pronunciation
Well, I
guide is presented by Toyota and Chipotle.
Toyota. Yeah, okay, thank you.
2-1 from Garahan. So we get back to the baseball and away from the cars and burritos. Low. 2-2. No, 3-1. Garahan is not going to be getting any free burritos or free cars from his manager if he can't get his control back in order. 3-1 to Centeno. Hard hit ball right into left. Jacobs comes out of nowhere at second to make the catch. They double up at first and the inning is over.
What a play.
Spectacular. What a play. And the Trojans, Mark Wolbert in right field, makes the exceptional play. And just like that, Garahan looking very much off. The fielding for Petaluma, it's had its downs, but man, there have been some spectacular plays tonight.
There sure have, Griffin. With Brown in the second, I believe, getting that a spectacular throw, and just there, a double out.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see for Petaluma.
And Jacobs, really a select fielder. We mentioned he's short, but he's very speedy like Altuve, runs all over. Came way out into the outfield grass to make that catch, and then the alert throw right at first to easily double up the runner, and has to help out Garahan in the end here. If you're Coach Salvatella, I think you are counting outs just because there isn't a lot of depth in the bullpen, and unfortunately they had to bring out Ochoa sooner than they would have liked. For Coach Salvatella, I don't know how much confidence you have in your other pitchers if Garahan gets tired, so limiting his pitch count has to be huge.
Right.
We head to the bottom of the fifth. Sanchez will continue working. And for the Gauchos, the ace has really gotten on his best stuff now. They're not going to take him out. Garahan has to continue working on finding his control. The power is there, but you sometimes have to take the good for the bad. Jack Gallagher will lead off for Petaluma, the bottom of the fifth.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth inning for the Trojans, catcher number 10, Jack Gallagher.
What's the name of the song? What's Gallagher's walk-up music?
I've heard Vanilla Ice a lot. Not this song.
This is not Vanilla Ice.
I'm saying this one's not obviously not Vanilla Ice.
Do you know the name of the song, Kaylee?
No,
Popped
but
up. It will stay in play, and
previously,
The catch was not
Griffin,
made.
I was meant to say, previously it has been Vanilla Ice.
okay. Gallagher, this is the same walk-up music he's had the last 3 years.
Oh, maybe not then. Someone has Vanilla Ice.
Someone has Vanilla Ice. Michael Barabal, Trojans PA announcer, who talks to the players ahead of the season, asks what they want their walk-up music to be in. It's just like a Major League Baseball stadium. They get the song they want to hype them up at bat. And it certainly worked. Not so far this year in terms of batting, but last year Petaluma hit .385, reached base 44% of the time, 15 home runs, 71 doubles, 187 RBIs, 4 triples. Team hit with power most of all, 543 slugging percentage, 15 home runs. They had 15 home runs last year. The year before they had 2.
Wow.
It's a power surge if I've ever seen one. Big swing, speaking of power, by Gallagher, high up into the sunshine. The catch is made and left, 2 down. Sanchez continues his strong work. And Zarco up. I don't even know what this walk-up music is.
It's if you know him, I think it's interesting.
You know, everyone's got their unique music tastes. Zarco, also a 3-sport athlete. He was called up to the varsity football team for NCS this year, and he could very much be a feature running back next year for them. Potentially even start at running back. Big power running back. Was also a wrestler this year. He'll be starting on the wrestling team next year. Part of this sophomore class for Petaluma that is so athletic. So many good athletes. seen Garahan, Ochoa, Wolbert, Zarco, all a part of it. 1-1 from Sanchez. Check swing by Zarco. He didn't go. Zarco 1 for 3 today. Just called it 1 of 3 along with Nico Bertolucci and Mark Wolbert. That was called up for NCS and SCL last year. Popped up in foul territory. Catch is made by Klemenok. That is 2 down. That will bring up the pitcher, Garahan. The Trojans still leading 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. All 5 runs for Petaluma scored in the 1st. The Trojan team that came in only hitting 133 on the year, just a 186 slugging percentage, and still just 1 extra base hit on the season, along with 1 home run. It continues to be a struggle and a question mark for this team going forward. Chopped back to the pitcher. Easy, 3 up, 3 down. Sanchez is in a rhythm, to be sure, Peter, as we move on to the 6th inning.
Yeah, he is a powerhouse, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he's the ace. He's a senior ace. Big moment for him. You don't get a lot more. He's against your rival, likely going to go a long way towards deciding VVAL. It's your league opener as well. This is really when it counts, and the moment was a little big for him early, but all the credit to him. He's really settled down since then and used his experience and strong mental ability to settle in and subdue Trojan bats.
For sure.
Garahan will make his way back out. So long way to go here for Petaluma. 6 more outs to go. And Garahan certainly made it interesting, to say the least, the last 2 innings. He's gotten out of trouble, but we mentioned it earlier. He has already blown a lead this year. Petaluma led by 1 run for the last 3 innings back on February 23rd against Marin Catholic. Allowed 1 run in the 7th inning. Marin Catholic scored in the 8th to win that one. The pressure is much higher for this game, and you've got a sophomore who's never pitched on the varsity level out there.
Right. It's definitely interesting, but you can tell he does have some raw talent there, and hopefully he can tap into that tonight to finish off the game.
Petaluma, you have to trust your fielding. It's been up and down, some very bad moments for fielding, probably cost them 2 runs, at least 1, I would say. And we've also been some spectacular moments fielding, including a double play made by Jacobs and an exceptional play made by Brown in center to throw out a runner. Connor Klemenok, the right fielder, will dig in. He has 2 errors today, both in the 1st, part of the 5-run explosion by Trojan bats. A chopper, Garahan feels it, has to make a quick throw, not in time. So that will bring up the top of the order, Peter and Lamp, and that was an exceptional piece of hitting by Klemenok.
That was great play. You could hear the Casa section just go wild for that one.
You know, the Casa fans, good 50 to 100 of them behind me, exploded in celebration. Little baseball. Lamp takes the first pitch strike, gesturing to slow down. It's been a miserable day for the shortstop. Let a couple goals go by him at short in the 1st, and then 0 for 3 at bat. A strikeout, a flyout, a groundout. Garahan throws back to the speedy Klemenok. We saw his speed, able to run out the throw from Garahan, who's not the most nimble player off the mound. Really a smart play to kind of just slice it down, and Zarco's also been struggling at 3rd with the mitt. This is low, 1-1. Gauchos looking to remain undefeated on the season. 2-0. The winner of this will step into the driver's seat for the VVAL. The 2 league favorites in this brand new league. Garahan again checks. Oh, he balked. Wow. Garahan, I was going to say checked on the runner, but I guess they decided he was already in his motion. Sometimes you see a dispute. Coach Salvatella seems a little bit perplexed. I didn't see a lot there, Peter.
No, it didn't look like he was making a run for it.
Either way, Klemenhawk goes to second, and Garahan, who's definitely been concerned about him, to say the least. Lamp flies this one into center. Long run for Brown.
Smooth.
No need to make it, though. Lewis comes over from short and makes the catch. One down. Struggles continue for Lamp. He's 0 for 4. And it brings up Bailey, still looking for his first hit today as well. Klemenhawk on second, but for the Trojans, you have a 2-run lead. In the end, getting outs is more important here. Certainly a 2-run lead is much more secure than a 1-run lead. One swing of the bat, you could tie the game. Big swing of the miss by Bailey. Trojans trying to become the first varsity sport on the male side to get a victory for the west side this year. High as Bailey ducks out of the way. 1-1. Casa will continue league play on Thursday at Sonoma Valley. Nice off speed in there for a strike. 1-2. Gauchos Field getting a little repairs. They don't have a home game all the way until March 22nd. They haven't played at home yet. The 1-2 as Garahan gets the sign from Gallagher. Takes a look back at Klemenhawk. The pitch high.
Ooh.
Full count and a big payoff pitch here. If Bailey reaches, that would put the towing run on base. Deep breath and a huge moment for the sophomore. A senior hitter trying to come through. Missed high. Bailey reaches with a big walk. Very patient bat by Noah Bailey. And the heart of the order coming through here for the Gauchos. Likely the last time we'll see them unless this goes extras. Cam Downing will take center stage. There is no action in the Trojan bullpen. Mark Wolbert got loose briefly. But right now, Coach Salvatella is riding Julian Garahan to try to close out this game for Petaluma. Off speed in there, tied up. Downing. Trojans pitching last year, 2.59 ERA. Opposing teams had a 240 batting average, 186 strikeouts. They only got 3 complete games, though. Struggled to go deep, 107 walks, but basically lost their entire pitching staff from last year. That one's in there for a strike. 1-2. Nick Sembita not playing baseball for Petaluma. Danny Marzo graduated. Blake Berber, the ace for Petaluma last year, graduated. And Draken, the second starter for Petaluma, also graduated. 2 sophomores have been at the mound this afternoon for the Trojans. 1-2 to Downing. He did not go. They'll check, and now he did. Gallagher decides to check with the other umpire. It was a smart choice. The plate umpire didn't say anything, and decided that Downing did go around. It was awfully close. Big second out for Petaluma. So it brings up Kyle Taylor. It's had a quiet day. A big player with big lumber. Low. Just feel the tension. It's palpable, Peter, in the stands.
That's for sure. You do not want to Casa hit any balls at all if you're Petaluma. It's definitely quite scary.
Trojan team has saw their 5-run lead nearly evaporate. Popped up. High in the air. Lewis calling everyone off. It's short. He makes the catch. That's not Lewis. That's Brown, my bad. But
second time tonight.
3 down, and Trojans did make a little bit shuffling in the infield. Lewis, I saw the athletic trainer go in there and tend to him, and Lewis has departed, so Brown moved in at short. He can also play infield, and he's made a couple nice plays there. The freshman for Petaluma, it looks like Lewis is done, so you'll have to hope that if you're a Petaluma fan that he is healthy going forward.
Yeah, all good things to him. Hopefully he can recover.
So far, Petaluma continuing to field well, get out of jams, and they've got 3 more outs to close it out in the 7th here. We will see a new pitcher for Casa, so we'll tell you about that in a minute. Some insurance runs I think would be huge here for Petaluma, because there is no doubt Garahan has looked nervous out there. He's gotten out of everything, but it's been nervy for him, and it's been nervy for these Trojan fans.
I think that's a good way to put it. Like, rather than anything too terrible yet, they haven't been able to close, finish innings, but they really have been giving the Casa a couple of opportunities to really capitalize on their plays, and hopefully they can, pull themselves together for this top of the 6th and this final inning, right? Top?
Yeah. It's been surprising, I think, too, because especially Joe Lamp has been up in some huge moments. He's 0 for 4 today, the best hitter on Casa. He's on scholarship to UC Davis next year. A lot of the top of the lineup for Casa has really struggled today. It's been their bottom of the lineup that's gone on base, forced walks, and made the Trojan pitchers work for it. But there's no doubt a lot of their senior leaders for the Gauchos haven't had a good game.
Exactly, yeah, and with all the Gauchos having lost many of their senior players along with Petaluma, gives these underclassmen and these newer players really a chance to shine and make a name for themselves out here on the field.
And I think especially for Casa Grande, based on their numbers, a lot of their leaders now are people that were not leaders last year previously. I think it's a little bit different in Petaluma, just the makeup. I think Jack Gallagher's always a leader, same with Sam Brown. But for Casa, they lost so many exceptional players from last year's team that were exceptional leaders, and it's been hard. And the seniors, juniors, upperclassmen for them have not really looked ready for this moment. First pitch strike in there for the new Gaucho pitcher. It's Peyton Baxter. Gauchos hope that'll get more than 1 inning of work. Low. Jacobs digging in. One of those senior leaders we just referenced. Slow chopper towards third. This will be a tough play. Barehanded, nowhere near in time. Near impossible to field there by the hot corner man, Cam Downing for Casa. Easily ran out by the speedy Jacobs. He has a leadoff infield base hit. And Mark Wolbert will dig in. Trojan fans might be familiar with the last name. Justin Wolbert, his older brother, was both a baseball player and also an exceptional basketball player, but above all was the 2-year varsity starting quarterback for the Petaluma football team. last year and the year before. Wolver JV basketball this year. Part of the exceptional athletic lineage. Throw back to first. And there for a strike, 0-2. Wolver 0-1 for the day, and he's before this just had one batting plate appearance. He reached on an air and came around to score. It was in the Marin Catholic loss. A throw back again to first by Baxter. High fly ball. It stays in the infield. Lamp calling off his friends. One down. England will dig in with one out. England hitless so far today as well.
England.
The battery case has a good battery. Switch at the end of this ending. Bounced in front of Santander, did a nice job of saving, and he's been the Gauchos star. We talked about their leaders struggling. It's been the catcher for the Gauchos that has helped bring them back in this game, both defensively and offensively. Misses high. 2-1. Throw back again to first. Close there. Jacobs playing with fate. Nice pickoff move by Baxter. Petaluma baseball, not the only spring sport going on. Peter, how about the softball team? I mean, remarkable start for them.
Oh, totally, yeah. They are undefeated in play so far.
1-2 double play there. That was how you draw it up. Lamp started it. And quickly into the sixth inning. But as you were saying, Peter, the softball team, it has been a scintillating start for them.
Oh, totally, yeah. They are undefeated in season play so far. I don't remember the scores of their games.
3-0, yeah.
3-0 in their most recent.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job. Promising season for them.
Yeah, and it really hasn't even been close. Any of the games they've played so far, they mercy-ruled Redwood, a very good MCAL team here last Friday. Had no trouble with Old FCL Full Annalee yesterday. It's a pretty young softball team, but it seems to be the right mix of really, really talented underclassmen led by Rachel Blass and some very experienced, strong leaders with Mandy O'Keefe and India Smith. And it really seems like a complete softball team. We're really excited to cover them, and that starts this Friday. They've got a makeup rain game. We're going to be live streaming it Friday afternoon. They're going to take on Montgomery, who are the defending MBL champions. Probably the two best teams in Sonoma County softball going at it on Friday right here on our YouTube channel. Don't want to miss that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be a good game.
It'll be really interesting to see how the Trojans line up. Well, Peter, as we reach your top of the seventh, last chance here for the Gauchos. Garahan back out there. What do you think will be the difference here to decide this one?
Ooh, I really just Garahan just being able to focus and really finish these pitches. He has a pattern I've noticed, at least, that he generally gets first two very clean strikes, but he just can't finish.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can.
Got to keep the focus throughout the at-bat, but at least good he's not falling in a hole early. Hard hit ball down the line. It will slice foul. Not able to be run down by England. Shimmick in a big spot here, trying to help the Gauchos climb the mound. and come back to knock off Petaluma. These teams split their season series last year, Petaluma winning at the Boris Invitational, and then in their non-league, normally scheduled game, the Gauchos won. Year before had similar, well, not similar results exactly, they only played once, Gauchos getting the victory. This would be the first victory for Petaluma in 3 years in a regularly scheduled game against the Gauchos. Varsity baseball. 1-2. Shamek. Hard hit ball, but right to Jacobs. Alert fielding by the second baseman. That ball was high up in the zone. Shemek went up to get it, but couldn't get enough on it. The fielding has been excellent for Petaluma for the most part.
For the most part, yes, sir.
This game means even more for Trojans manager Jim Salvatelli. He was the former JV coach, actually, at Casa Grande, and was the JV coach just 4 years ago. Some of these players now on this varsity roster, he coached at Casa.
It's got a special meaning, I guess, to this game. Like, I don't quite know what it is. That's kind of confusing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, moving from Casa to Petaluma, it's definitely not something that's unheard of among coaches, and Salvatello was rising up the ranks as JV coach there. Longtime manager Paul Cochran decided to retire. The opening was here. Followed up just 1 year later with the Gauchos manager retiring. Chad Fillinger is now in his second year with Casa Grande. Certainly, Coach Salvatello understands this rivalry so well and the meaning of this game beyond just the league standings and being a league opener. Casa Petaluma as that one catches the inside corner, 1-1. Elijah Waltz, pitch hitter, looking for some power from Waltz. 1 out, no one on. Garahan trying to close out this game for the Trojans. That one just misses. Ochoa went into the 4th inning. What an effort from Garahan Sense, trying to make it 4 innings of shutout ball. Misses high, 3-1. Gaucho dugout getting vocal, trying to encourage on Waltz to start the Gaucho rally. Gauchos have seen base runners every single inning. High pop-up into right field. Jacobs at second, calling off everyone and making the catch. Brown has shifted over into right field, so he was there. Wilson is now at first. The shift with Lewis out. Both Brown and Jacobs, nice job again with communication. And it's last chance here for the Gauchos with Cole Santander, certainly the guy they want to have up. The most dangerous hitter tonight on the Gaucho lineup. A big solo shot and a big ball off the wall. First swing, hard hit into right, diving! Catch is made!
That's the game.
A climatic finish. It was hard to see if Brown had caught it in the shadows, but a spectacular catch and a spectacular way to finish by Sam Brown. And the Trojans have defeated Casa Grande, Peter.
Yes, they have. And finally, a win for the male side of sports in the Egg Bowl here, where Petaluma now 2-2 in season. These are probably the 2 best teams you'll see in VVAL play this year, 2 league favorites at least. And, you know, this could mean something for Petaluma going into the future.
Yep, puts Petaluma up top VVAL in the driver's seat. And was it certainly a weird game, I think, by any stretch of the imagination with that first inning and Petaluma scoring 5 runs then. But in the end, Petaluma was the stronger team, I think, throughout the game. They really were excellent fielding the ball. And their pitchers in Garahan and Ochoa just stayed calm through the struggles they work with. The Gauchos battled hard, got their way back in the game, made it interesting. But the Trojan team's got young talent, and when they put it together, as they did tonight, good things happen. big victory over the rivals as the Trojans defeat Casa Grande in the first round of the Varsity Egg Bowl. Stay right here. Interviews are next. Mic off.
I wonder if I can sneak out for a few minutes.
I think it's better. What do you think?
Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me right now. They able to hear me? They're able to hear me. Are they able to see me too? They can see me now too. We're now out on the grass here at Abbey Field after Petaluma defeats Casa Grande 5-3 here in the VVAL opener. They go to 1-0 in the Vine Valley Athletic League, and they defeat Casa Grande. They did it once last year. They're now going to go for the season sweep in 2 weeks, the last week of March 27th against the Gauchos. And in the end, it was a 5-run first inning that made the difference. You can see the team meeting behind me. Coach Salvatella did a really good job getting this team ready, and a big factor we knew in this game was going to be the rust. These teams had not played, both of them, since March 1st. Is it March 15th today? March 13th, almost 2 weeks the last time that these two teams have played. The Gauchos looked really rusty in the first inning. There were some issues for the Trojans fielding-wise over the course of the game. Gavin Ochoa didn't have his best stuff, but at the end, Petaluma got out of jams, made some spectacular defensive plays to prevent any big innings from happening. It was just a disastrous first inning for Casa Grande. They had 2 errors, both out in right center field. They had a couple walks, a couple hit batters, and the Trojans did an excellent job of small hitting. Sam Jacobs, Mario Zarco with the big hits for Petaluma, just finding some open holes in the infield. And in the end, that totaled up to 5 runs in the first inning. And over the course of 7 innings, it was just barely able to hold up. I think the superstar in the end for Petaluma has to be Julian Garahan. He was really brilliant for Petaluma, coming in relief for Gavin Ochoa, who did a lot of pitching. Garahan pitched 4 innings, only allowing 1 run in that 3rd inning, and after that, working his way out of a couple jams, his control was iffy, but especially when he was facing some of the best Gaucho batters, got them off balance, used his power, and the sophomore, in a massive moment, a lot of people, a lot of pressure, able to pull out a victory. Extremely impressive job by the sophomore Julian Garahan, and this pitching staff is really young for Petaluma, but the way they are pitching so far this year has to excite you if you're Petaluma. I'm going to go grab Julian Garahan, and I'll be right back, Peter.
An exciting game. It's a great game. If you know, this is the Egg Bowl, very important in Petaluma culture. Looks like Griffin at the time will have Julian Garahan here.
Can you press record? All right, we are here with Julian Garahan after Petaluma beats Casa here in varsity baseball. What does this just mean for the team first overall?
This means a lot for the team, you know, boost morale, and also, I mean, we got some guys out here who've been playing. We really got our asses kicked by Casa. I don't know if I can say that, but we've been, like, not doing well against Casa, so it means a lot for our team to just come out here and take some dubs.
And you came in on relief in the fourth inning, pitched near perfect ball, helped close out this victory. What was working for you out there?
My curveball was really working. I had to tune in the fastball a little bit. First inning I came, I didn't do too well, but got back into it, worked through it.
It's a really young pitching staff. Gavin Ochoa was starting out there today, and you guys have been the top two pitchers so far this year. How have you guys been able to have so much success so far as a pitching staff, even with your youth?
You know, I don't think age really matters on this. I mean, we all come out, we all work really hard. You know, I mean, that's all it is.
The team plays a game like this, comes together. How far do you think this team can go this season?
Oh, we can go all the way. We really work hard. We can go all the way.
Thank you so much, Julian. Congratulations. That was Julian Garahan, big Trojan star in relief, came in the fourth inning, near perfect baseball, allowing just one run. And after that was perfect, dealt with a lot of traffic, but just kept on frustrating the Gauchos and keeping them off balance. Can you grab Jack real quickly for me, Peter? He's right there. Jack! All right, Jack Gallagher, one of the Trojans' captains, is going to join me. And the Trojans defeat Casa Grande 5-3. All right, we're here with Trojan senior Jack Gallagher. Do you defeat Casa Grande? Casa's kind of had your number for the most part over the last couple years. As a senior, what was the difference this time?
You know, our pitching absolutely shoved. Offense was popped up a lot, and we always try not to do that, but our pitching picked up the pieces, and great day at the ballpark.
You are a big factor behind the plate as catcher. How do you help these young pitchers kind of grow up, settle in, and what's your role overall when they're out on the mound?
You know, just tell them to trust me behind the plate and know that they can miss. They can miss those times that they throw it in the dirt, and I'll be back there. So just letting them trust me will give them confidence. So.
A senior leader on this really young team. A lot of the big players out there are sophomores. What's your role as a leader for this team?
You know, just show them the ropes. A lot of these guys, the majority of our team, this is their first year on varsity. So just showing them the ropes and showing them how things are done and telling them to keep a level head when times get tough.
Lastly, obviously a very talented team. It's your senior year. Where do you want to see this team at the end of the season?
As far as we can go. I mean, last year was devastating not being able to make it as far as we did in NCS, but I feel like this team can definitely do it. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Jack. Congratulations. That was Jack Gallagher, Trojans' senior catcher and captain. A big game for him behind the plate. Excellent job defensively. The whole Trojan team did a great job defensively with some spectacular plays out in the field. Gallagher threw out a runner, but he's no doubt really helping, I think, these young pitchers for Petaluma, and pitching was the star once again for the Trojans, and pitching has been just such a big factor. He's still dancing. He's feeling so good. We are going to talk with the manager of the Trojans, Jim Salvatella, in just a moment, our final interview here of the afternoon. Giving a big hug to Jack Gallagher. This certainly means a lot for him as the former coach at Casa Grande. I'm good. How are you? Long time no see.
I know.
We are here with the manager of the Trojans, Jim Salvatella. Guys, defeat Casa Grande. You obviously have history coaching at Casa Grande, but Gauchos have kind of controlled baseball for the most part last couple years. Early season VVAL matchup. How important for the rest of the year and just overall for Casa Petaluma relations was this victory?
Well, obviously it's really special because of the crosstown rival, because both programs are really good programs this year and in past years. You know, for us to go ahead and get an early season win like this is a huge win for us because obviously we've lost a couple of close games already this year. We couldn't afford to lose any more. And the guys battled today. It wasn't pretty on either side. But, you know, all that matters is that scoreboard you see in the back, and it's in our favor. So we're happy on this side. They'll see us again in a couple of weeks, and they might see us again in the playoffs. So it'll be a battle every time because there's good coaching over there, there's good coaching over here, there's good players over there, there's good players here. So it'll always be a battle. Anyway, I'm happy we're on the right side today.
You guys had two young pitchers out there helping provide a victory this year, and you guys have had very good pitching so far this year with a lot of youth. Why have they been so successful, and how much can this team help ride them?
Well, as I've said in the past, I don't think these guys really know how old they are. They certainly don't act like sophomores. They go out there. Ochoa didn't have his best stuff today, but he battled, and he got us into the fourth inning, and then Julian came in and shut him down. It was a great team win. And yeah, we have a lot of young guys, and so sometimes you gotta roll with some of the mistakes they make along the way. But no, I couldn't have a finer group of young men with us. No, this school should be very proud of this group. They're a good group of kids.
It's a very young team, but it seems very tight. And now in the driver's seat of VVAL with this victory, what's your goal over the course of the year for this team?
Oh no, it's just, I know this is a cliche, but to take each game one at a time, battle it, try to get runs when we can, play solid defense, you know, because if the pitcher throws strikes, the ball's going to be put in play, and we need to make the routine play. If we make the routine play, and then all the other, you know, special plays will be bonuses, but we need to make the routine plays, and we're going to harp on those kids all year long. And then each win, each game, we'll end up on the right side if we can just do those little things. And next time we have an interview like this, do not stand in higher ground. You look like you're 4 inches taller than me.
Sorry, I'm
All right.
already tall. Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations. Yeah, it was good seeing you. That was the manager of the Trojans, Coach Salvatella. He's celebrating after the big victory. Lots of history with Casa, and he said it's just seen so much on so many levels for Petaluma. And this young team, they don't necessarily know how young they are. They put it together, and there was some rust on both sides, but Petaluma looked like the wiser team out there today. They go to first place at VVAL, but they'll get Casa just 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from Friday. So the Gauchos will certainly be looking for revenge, and the Trojans will need to stay on their toes. We had a fantastic broadcast tonight. A huge shout out to Cameron Grant, who did a great job on camera. Kaylee Smith was incredible directing today. And of course, my co-anchor, Peter, don't look lonely, come out here. Peter Canali, my co-anchor, did an exceptional job with him. He's already a star here at Petaluma. Thank you so much for joining me, Peter.
Thank you, Griffin, for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, and Peter pretty much set up the entire broadcast today for the first time, too. So major shout out to him. That will do it here from Abbey Field. A very happy Trojan supporters and a very happy Trojan team. Petaluma goes to 2-2 overall, 1-0 in VVAL. Casa drops its first game of the season. They fall to 2-1. For everyone here at Trojan Live, I'm Griffin Epstein. Once again, the final score, Petaluma 5, Casa Grande 3 in baseball. So long from Abbey Field. That's all.